zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine headed our way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It is a truth, it's actual, everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine headed our way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It is a truth, it's actual, everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day.
Our very own Michelle Zawasta, who is great in a pinch hit, right? I also want to thank our amazing music team, Cerny on piano, Arnie on bass, and Dave on drums, who always bring such a great vibrational difference here every week to our service. So welcome to the light and the love that is unity of South Sound. My name is Barbara Baumel, and it is my joy to welcome you here to our Sunday service. We hold that you are not here by accident, by divine appointment. Unity offers a positive path for spiritual living, and we teach inspiring, practical spirituality, something you'll experience each Sunday in each lesson to enhance your personal journey of spiritual unfoldment. If you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share with us, please visit our website and under the Contact Us page at www.unityofsouthsound.org, or you can write it down and place it in our share box at the little table on your way into Wesley Hall. At this time, we also invite you to put your cell phones into the silence. And now I ask you to just take a moment to relax, get centered, and reconnect and center in the truth of who we are. Please join me in our opening affirmation. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe: God, goodness, omnipotence. And our mission statement: inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. And our vision statement: present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And our core values: we are love, joy, abundance, and spirit guided. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in an opening prayer.
Thank you, Barbara. Here we are, a new year beginning, a great opportunity for us to take everything to a new level. And last year we deemed our year as the year of the great experiment, to really roll up our sleeves and take our practices to a deeper level. And we achieved great new creativity and success. This year, I see, as all the things that are happening in the world, it's a time for us to really live the truth that we teach, to take that experiment to a place of really living it. And so I need to address what I know is in your hearts and minds right now, what is happening in our country, what is happening in the world. And so the opportunity for us to live our truth through all of these circumstances that we have no control over, other than to hold the presence, to be the love, to recognize the integrity that we are in our divine nature. And what does it call to show up? How do we show up in the face of unexpected and horrific circumstances? And so what came to mind to me is the prayer of St. Francis. But I found a modern version of that, so I'd like to hold that as our prayer today and to call all of us to stand in the truth, to be the presence, to allow that infinite love and wisdom that we are to come through and to shine that out into the world, because when we all awaken to the divinity that we are, we choose to support each other in harmony and love and to make a difference in everything we think, say, and do. So, infinite wisdom, allow all that I am to be an instrument of peace in this world, so that wherever I go, if I encounter hate, allow me to be a source of love. If I am wronged by others, then let me forgive those who have wronged me. Where I encounter doubt, let me inspire faith in others with bravery. Where I find sadness and despair, let me be a source of joy and hope, like a single light radiantly illuminating a dark room. I ask for the strength to console others more than I want to be consoled myself, to understand more than I desire to be understood, to love more than I desire to be loved. For it is in giving that we receive, and in forgiving that we are forgiven. Only by overcoming the ego, the big me, and the small self are we born to eternal life and awaken to our true and divine nature, and we hold that for all beings. And we especially send some light to all those places where darkness seems to prevail. For when we shine light, darkness does not exist. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Reminds me of that saying, it's better to light one candle than curse the darkness. But we can do so much more. So I want to take a moment to thank all of you who may be joining us for the first time in person or online. Thank you for sharing your consciousness with us and your love with us. If you're a first-time visitor here, we invite you to raise your hand so our ushers can bring you a welcome packet of helpful information about our ministry. And thank you, along with a special gift, a winged heart charm to remind you that we are one in spirit, and you are always welcome here. We also encourage you to sign our guest book at the back of the sanctuary so that we know who you are. And is there anyone visiting from another Unity Center here today? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. So we'd like to acknowledge you as well. And so our ushers, if you can give them a charm gift too, that would be awesome. So we celebrate being friends and family in spirit here today. Let's see. We also affirm and trust that anyone who comes to Unity will feel at home as we engage in getting to know one another, and we'll always be delighted to see you here again. Wherever you are in your faith journey, you are welcome here, for we honor and respect all the choices that your soul makes on its spiritual journey. So to our newcomers, live streamers, and friends joining us here this morning, we want to share this Unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. Now I'd like to invite Reverend Megan back up for a few announcements. So enjoy our upcoming events and activities. Mark your calendars. For those attending in person, you can check out our connection table in the fireside room for volunteer opportunities, events, and program information. And there will be people there to answer your questions. So our prayer chaplain today is Ginger Landry, who is probably with the kids, yes.
Red
However, Yeah, all bundled up today too. But she, right here by this exit sign, she will be there to hold sacred space and your prayer intentions with you. After the service, you can wait for her outside the vestibule to your right, and she'll come out after each prayer session. So master provided, and know that our prayer chaplains hold all requests in confidence, and they can be also called or reached online for sacred affirmative prayer confidentially each day.
Our LGBTQIA Spiritual Connection Group is meeting today, the third Sunday in the new year already. Wow. They meet from 1 to 2:30 in the fireside room. So if that resonates with you, bring a friend to join our vibrant, inclusive community.
Okay. And then due to the practitioner's health, she's got a few challenges right now. The acupuncture in the round today has to be canceled. So our next session will be February 15th.
We send her some love and light.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because after service today, we are having our new membership class. It's our Unity Basic class. It's about who we are, where we came from, what we believe. And so I invite anybody that's curious, maybe it's a good refresher, but if you'd like to become a voting member of Unity of South Sound, this is the last opportunity you have before our annual meeting on February 22nd. The class will start at 11:30 here in the sanctuary. We'll go about an hour and a half to 2 hours depending on interaction. We have a great video to show and important handouts. So please join us. I'd love to see more people make that deeper commitment to our ministry.
Yeah. And along those lines, we have the annual Foundation of Affirmative Prayer class happening this week. It starts this Tuesday. It's a 6-week online course beginning January 20th at 7 p.m. It's co-facilitated by Reverend Megan and your prayer chaplains. Mm-hmm. So it's offered on a donation basis. Everyone's encouraged to take this class to deepen their understanding of affirmative prayer. And the book, well, I should say that it's prayer as practice in unity, but it's a good thing to review it, but it's a required course for the prayer chaplain team consideration. But this book is, okay, getting ahead of myself. What I want to say is this book, Discover Your Divinity, a Modern Guide to Affirmative Prayer, really moves you into prayer in a way that is full of flow. And it's a wonderful way to explore prayer. The class itself is also available for Unity credit. So if you want a CEU credit, we also have some books available in our bookstore for purchase today for your convenience. And please register online to receive your confirmation and the Zoom link access. If you need any assistance, there'll be somebody at the connections table.
Absolutely. And what we're having another extraordinarily important and beneficial workshop next Sunday after service for an hour from noon to 1 o'clock. It is called Spirit-Led Giving, Tax Smart Living. And Jeannie Sachs, who is a CPA and tax and financial expert, will be leading that. And this is about discovering tax smart ways to support charitable organizations, including Unity of South Sound, align your giving with spiritual organizations, and giving as a spiritual practice so that you can stay within IRS guidelines. So this is the time of year to really understand how you can find a tax benefit with your investments. This workshop is sponsored by our Prosperity and Growth team, whose intention is to educate our community with alternative and creative ways to financially support our ministries thriving into the future. It is offered on a love offering basis. And so invite your family and friends, because this could be helpful for a lot of people. You can register online or sign up at our connections table after service today.
And the men's gathering for January will be next Sunday, January 25th, at Pat Bugh's house. Thank you, Pat. All men are welcome, and see Terry Sanders or Jim. The game will be on.
So
okay.
This is Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
Party.
I wore colors to honor the Hawks today, let me tell you. Okay, yeah, from plan to certain thing, okay.
It starts at 2 until whenever then,
Yeah,
right?
2 to 4.
Okay. And I'm really excited to offer what we're now calling our annual vow renewal event that happens Saturday, February 14th. Celebrate love this Valentine's Day by making a heartfelt ceremony part of your Valentine's Day plan. If you want to renew your vows or affirm a commitment in a loving, inclusive vow renewal ceremony for couples of any orientation, married or not, and if you want to make it legal, just bring a Pierce County marriage license with you. We are having 2 ceremony times that you can sign up for, 3:30 or 5:30, and it's only $25 per person. Each couple will receive a certificate, a special gift, a sparkling champagne toast, and honorary reception. So it'll be really fun. You need to register to participate so we know your details to do the certificate and what time frame you'd like. Again, if you need assistance, see the connection table.
Okay, yeah. And upcoming in February 15th is Bingo Family Time. Pizza, prizes, and community fun. Please join us in Wesley Hall for our annual Youth and Family Ministries event, held right after our hospitality. This is a fun way to connect with our spiritual community while supporting our youth and ministry programs. Donations to YFM are gratefully received to cover the costs and support youth and family programming, send kids to camp, bring the whole family.
And speaking of hospitality, they're looking for a couple of really special people that would like to sign up to help with the hospitality the first Sunday of the next 3 months, February, March, and April, to cover those that are seasonally spending some time in Arizona. So we just love them for their choices they make. And flexibility is available, so see Diane or just ask somebody at hospitality. They will gladly sign you up.
And they may be south, but we got sunshine today, yay. All right, and remember to stay connected. Sign up for our weekly e-news to get all this good news delivered to your inbox every Thursday. Visit our website and explore the red members resources box for the Sunday message reflection guides and updating, your member directory information, board information, and more. So stay in the loop with all things Unity.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, and now I invite you, if you're able, to stand and join our song leaders singing "Our Soul is Welcome Here." Yeah.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. And you are.
Please take a brief moment to welcome the neighbors around you, say hello, and if you're not a hugger, get that hand out there. Namaste. everybody, find your way back to your seats, please, as we begin our next song. Breathe.
So taking the energy down a little.
There it is.
So we take a breath and breathe in and take our energy down just a notch. As you go back to your seat, we begin to sing. I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release and know, I forgive. Receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. Now let's breathe. Breathe. To try, no need to worry or ask you why. I surrender, let go, release and know. Breathe. Again. Breathe, 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 breathe. You may be seated.
So for our reflection today, couldn't find anything that fit, so I wrote my own daily word to share with you all. And so we're focused on the gifts of winter, and while I love all of the seasons, winter is special. I love it for its unique gifts. So I invite you to close your outward eyes and to imagine the quiet of winter. A time of rest, when the leaves drop when the trees drop their leaves, when the grass hardly grows, and when the gardens lie fallow, when bears hibernate, and quiet can be felt in the natural world. Heavy rains may encourage us to enjoy inside fires and indoor comforts. The lichens bloom, quietly reminds us of our kinship with all living things and awakens our hearts. When the snow falls, especially when it's those large, heavy snowflakes and they keep falling and falling, you can hear a hush in the air and feel the snow quietly blanket the earth. These are the moments that bring things, even snowplows, to a halt. And they bring our own selves to a stop and invite a pause, a stillness in our awareness, a moment to exhale and to rest. Every inhalation needs an exhalation. And in these moments, fully present and wide awake, we can rest and feel the deep peace of winter's rest. We attune to the peace that is always available to us, and here we abide for a brief season. And from John 14:27, peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, but as my Father in heaven giveth. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in a time of meditation.
Oh, I just realized I forgot to light the light. We'll do that now. Okay. You know, I love these sticks, but sometimes, there we go. So it's time for us to breathe, just to take a moment to reconnect, to relax. And so let's do that by starting with just doing another rotation of breathing from our breathe song. Just going to do breathe. Let me get this out of the way there. Okay. Breathe, 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 breathe. One more time. Breathe. And so we breathe. Gently closing your outer eye that you might open your inner eye to the vision and the truth of who we are. We allow our breath to breathe into us, into the fullness, expanding into every cell of our being, and then to exhale, to release it. And so allow yourself to align with the rhythm of your breathing. Open your expanded listening and your heart to the feeling of the vibration from our prayer bowl as it resonates with your heart chakra and opens you to receive. I breathe in, I breathe out. I feel that flow and that rhythm, the vibration of creativity, that energy that we named God, breathing me in this moment. I take it in, I give it back. I let love, and I let go. I release anything and everything that is not one with my wholeness, not one with the vibration of creativity and beauty and love. I just let it go out into the universe to be recycled for greater good, knowing everything serves a purpose in its own time. And I surrender with my next breath. deeper into the sanctuary of my heart, that I might rest for a moment in the silence, in the stillness, in the harmony and the rhythm of living. That I might rest and listen, be receptive, open. Into the silence, we rest in this moment. I breathe in, I breathe out. I'm coming back into this moment in time, the stillness of this space in this room with each other. I come back with my heart and mind more open and receptive, feeling renewed for a brief respite, in a state of gratitude and open receptivity for what's next. We open our eyes and simply say, Amen.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk
Thank you, Michelle. What a beautiful reminder. Just taking you all in. You know, when we really take that deep breath and we open our eyes, we open the fullness of who we are, We see the beauty of each individual expressing in our path, even those that have forgotten who they are. We can remember for them, perhaps bring them up into that remembering. So today, we began a new spiritual journey together, a 5-part exploration of the gifts of winter. And even saying that phrase, I think, can be a little countercultural because winter does not usually get a lot of love. Winter has a reputation. It's the season we endure. We hear phrases like the bleak midwinter or the winter of our discontent. Winter often gets associated with endings, with loss, even with death. And in many ways, our culture treats winter as something to survive rather than something to honor. So for a long time, I agreed with that view. That was my experience of winter. I struggled with winter for years. I did not like the cold and rainy days. I do not like the dark coming way too early. I missed my garden, the warmth of the sun, going barefoot, and the visible energy of growth. I miss all that. And I noticed that my mood would shift when I was in that place. Sometimes I felt really low, sometimes unmotivated, sometimes just heavy and sad. I look outside and I feel my energy drop. Oh, it's raining again. And I know I'm not the only one in that. I'm looking around the room, seeing a few heads nodding. Yeah, winter has not always been something that we look forward to. So about 10 years ago, something shifted. I remember listening to a video by a practitioner of Chinese medicine. And she was talking about the benefits of aligning with the seasons of nature. And she asked a simple but life-changing question. She said, would you be willing to see winter differently? And that question stayed with me. She explained that in Chinese philosophy and medicine, winter is not seen as a problem. It is respected. It is honored. It is protected. Winter is understood as a time of rest and introspection, a time to conserve energy, and a time to return inward. The ancient text of the traditional Chinese medicine known as the I Ching teaches that in winter, people should retire early, rise later, and wait for the sun. In other words, live in harmony with the season rather than fighting it. And when I heard that, something in me softened, opened me to a new perspective. And that's what I'm inviting you into here today. I began to realize that nature is not failing in winter. Nature is resting. The trees are not dead. Life has moved into the roots. The soil is not empty. It's incubating. Seeds are not inactive. They are preparing. So like nature, winter invites us to slow down, to sleep more deeply, to nourish ourselves, to listen, to allow life to gather itself within us. And suddenly, winter became more appealing. So, I began to see that it serves a purpose, an important part of the creativity of life. Today, I actually welcome winter, mostly. I do have my human moments, but not because it's always comfortable. See, as human beings, we're always looking for everything to be comfortable, warm and cozy, just the way I like it. Don't make me shiver, right? But because it gives me permission to do what my soul and body already need, to rest, to reflect, to be quiet, to let go. I can feel its gentle call now, inviting me to soften rather than push. And I wonder if maybe you can feel that call too, when you still yourself to really notice what your body's telling you. This is the heart of our winter series. learning to recognize and receive the gifts that winter offers us if we are willing. Joyce Roop and Macarena Wiederkehr write about this beautifully in their book, The Circle of Life, The Heart's Journey Through Seasons. And they acknowledge that many people want to just hurry from autumn to spring, other than taking a little stop for Christmas, and that's it, right? To skip the long dark days, to avoid the emptiness of trees and the gray skies, and yet they remind us that winter darkness has a positive side. They write that winter teaches courage. Winter teaches withdrawal as an essential part of renewal. Winter offers a sacred enclosure for creative gestation. And one of the primary gifts of winter is rest. I saw a quote recently that said, "Nothing in nature blooms all year. Be patient with yourself." How often do we forget that? We live in a culture that glorifies constant motion, achievement, productivity, push harder, keep going. And yet, our bodies, our minds, and our spirits are not designed for endless output. Even the most fertile land must lie dormant for a season in order to remain productive. Farmers know this. Rest is not laziness, it is wisdom. When we resist rest, we become depleted, rigid, short-tempered. I know in my own life when I resist rest, or I haven't given myself permission to spend time in it meaningfully, I become exhausted and inflexible. My compassion thins out. My flexibility disappears. I stop going with the flow because there is no flow left in me. Hear that. There is no flow left. Winter reminds me again and again that rest is not optional, it's essential. Another gift that winter offers is the gift of letting go. Rumi once observed, "Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop." Nature does this effortlessly. Trees do not cling to the last season's leaves out of fear. Animals do not resist hibernation because they're afraid of missing out on something. Nature understands that holding on to the past season of usefulness blocks new life. I want you to really hear that. When we're holding on to what was, it is blocking what can become. Winter invites us to ask some honest questions then. What am I ready to release? What beliefs no longer serve me? What habits have run their course? What am I holding on to that keeps me from showing up fully alive? We explored some of this together in our year-end burning bowl ceremony. That's what the purpose was, to begin fresh so that we're not carrying all that into our New Year experience. But winter now gives us the space to live into that release more deeply. We don't just end with the burning bowl. It's a process. So there's an old saying that you cannot cross the ocean if you're afraid to leave the shore. Winter gently asks us to step back from the familiar and trust the cycle. Scripture echoes this wisdom. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, many of you are familiar. It says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to plant, a time to uproot. A time to build, a time to break down. A time to hold on, and a time to let go." We can fight the seasons of our lives, or we can flow with them. In Chinese philosophy, winter is associated with the element of water. Water teaches adaptability. It conforms to any shape, and yet over time it reshapes mountains. Its power is subtle, not forceful. So when our inner water element is balanced, we experience fluidity, compassion, reflection, and emotional responsiveness. And when it is out of balance, we become rigid and reactive, almost frozen like ice. I notice this in myself when I'm tired and exhausted or overextended. When I slow down and restore my energy, flexibility returns, compassion returns, perspective returns. So winter restores our water. It teaches us that rest allows flexibility. Stillness restores the flow. And this wisdom shows up across spiritual traditions. In the Hindu philosophy, it teaches that life unfolds in stages. And as I began recognizing them in my own life, they became something more than philosophy, but as stages of becoming, seasons of becoming. In the first stage, we're in the stage of the student, the season of learning. I think about my own early years, and maybe you do too, those seasons when our primary responsibility was to learn, to listen, to absorb. Houston Smith, author of The World's Religions, reminds us that learning was never just about information. It's about cultivating habits and character so that a meaningful life can emerge. Looking back, I can see how much of who I am today quietly formed in those early classrooms, both the formal and the unexpected ones. Then life shifts into the stage of the householder, the season of building and contributing. Relationships and family matter deeply. Work matters, community matters. Much of our energy turns outward. And I remember feeling the pull to do something meaningful, to contribute, to succeed, to belong. Ultimately, I think that's what led me to ministry. It's a rich and demanding stage, and for many years it can feel like there is no space to pause. Over time, something begins to shift. The energy softens, and this often leads then to the third stage, which is called retirement, or the season of withdrawal and reflection. Not simply retirement from work, but a turning inward. Houston Smith calls this our true adult education. I like that. The time when we begin shaping a philosophy of life and then living it. It is a season of reflection, simplification, and deeper listening. And I've noticed this in myself, a growing desire to ask those deeper questions. Who am I? Who am I really, beyond my roles? What is life asking of me now? I recognize the important benefit of that reflection time and encourage us all to spend time in that. And the final stage is known as the sannyasam, the season of freedom and wisdom, the one who is free from attachment and aversion. Heinrich Zimmer, who was a German ideologist and comparative mythologist, interestingly describes it as living identified with the eternal self. For me, it feels like a gentle freedom, not as leaving the world behind, but as holding it more lightly. Less driven by ego, less bound by expectation, more anchored in what is timeless, a true becoming. So I do not see these stages as neat or linear. I've touched all of them more than once, we all have. At times, a student again, at times deeply engaged in building and contributing, and at times my soul clearly asks for quiet reflection and depth. If you think about it, you've probably noticed that for yourself. So what matters is not labeling the stage, but listening to what life is inviting us to release, to learn, or to deepen right now. What I appreciate about this teaching is that it honors every stage. Nothing is rushed, nothing is dismissed. Every season belongs. It has a purpose. Our culture often idolizes youth and productivity, and we miss the sacredness of rest and reflection. And when we begin to understand that every season has its gifts and every season is inevitable, we stop comparing. We stop resisting. We relax into the flow of the seasons of life. So winter is also considered the season of hope. Hope does not disappear in the dark. Hope is planted there. We hope the bulbs we planted in the fall will bloom in the spring. We hope the snow will soften into rain and water the fields. We hope the sun will return into its fullness and warm us once again. Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder and spiritual educator, defined hope as the expectation of good in the future. We live in the expectation, this is our gift, of winter. Hope is the expectation of our good on its way. So the ancients marked winter with celebrations of light, not because the darkness was gone, but because they trusted it would not last forever. They believed life would return. They hoped that the trees would bud again and the flowers would bloom again. So during winter, we are asked, what am I hoping for? What is quietly forming beneath the surface of my life? What wants to be born when the time is right? During the time of rest and going within, aligning with the flow, we have the time to clear our minds and our hearts and to discern what is truly important to us individually. And this brings a renewed energy to our spring, to what we're planting this year, to what we expect will grow. So my invitation to this season of winter is simple. Rest more, listen more, let go gently. Follow the wisdom of nature and allow your energy to flow into your roots. Respect the cycle and trust that spring will return. As Rumi reminds us, the garden does not lose its ecstasy in winter. It is quiet, but the roots down there are riotous. I love that. So may we trust the quiet, may we honor the roots, and may we graciously receive the gifts the season so generously offers. And I invite you to take special time to explore the gifts of winter this next month, more intentionally by downloading the 30-day calendar of winter activities and supporting resource links under member resources on our website, as well as the weekly reflection guides based on each week's lesson for you to deepen your spiritual practice. And we do have hard copies of that guide at the connection table you can take home with you today. So honor your becoming. I can't wait to see what we are growing. Bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Megan, for that wonderful message and invitation to deepen and reflect. So at this time, we'd like to invite our ushers forward to prepare for our love offering and Michelle to prepare for her next song. This is the time in our service where we have the opportunity to share of our financial blessings within our community in demonstration of the prosperity law of giving and receiving. You can give in several ways. Visit our website and click on the donate button for secure giving options. We invite you to consider giving up an automatic weekly or monthly gift to Unity of South Sound, and staff can help if you have questions. If giving in person this morning, please use the offering envelopes on the backs of the pews and place them in the offering plates as it passes. And then for recurring donors, we invite you to place the green card as a representation of your donation in the offering plate. So however you give this morning, we hold these gifts in our hands and in our hearts, and we affirm this together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving, and we are truly blessed. Amen.
I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe, I believe, I believe above the storm, the smallest prayers will still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know I believe. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know I
Thank you, Michelle. And now let's welcome in our children. And now let's bless these godlights and their teachers. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. And parents, if you have young children, if you'd like to come up and take their hands, come on up. So now let's stand as you're able and turn and face the center aisle so that we can honor and sing to one another in community. Holding your hands high, we affirm our prayer of protection leading into singing our peace song and sending peace out to the entire country and world.
Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And all is well. Enjoy your rest and allow the light to shine. Bless you.